that there's a way that you could jumpstart the inner scientist of an elementary school child, would you take it? Let's chat about that today. Hi, I'm Ms. Steph, Stephanie E. Farmer, founder and executive director of Triple F Empowerment, Inc. We operate Ms. Steph Science Club. And Ms. Steph Science Club, thank you for watching. Ms. Steph Science Club is the premier program of Triple F Empowerment, Inc. And this time of year, we are preparing to launch our Summer Science Club. We have been running Summer Science Club since 2012. And our Summer Science Club now is so focused and so intentional and so well planned that we are able to squeeze and compress and condense a year and a half worth of elementary school science into 5 weeks. And not only that, we make it fun. So once again, I'm Ms. Steph, and I thought I would come on today to make sure that everybody knows not only what we do, how we do it, and invite you to participate in what we're doing right now. And so there are various ways that you can engage in our program, our science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths program. We have registration open until May 31st for our STEAM Immersion Summer Science Club. We have 5 spots left for that program, and 2 of those spots are full-time spots. And then we have a few spots that are available for children to come for some of the time. Once again, 5 weeks equals a year and a half worth of elementary school science. Now you may be asking, okay, Ms. Steph, how is she doing that? Well, we're doing that by the simple fact that our Summer Science Club has 2 instructional periods. One is a direct instructional period in the morning, except for trip day. One is a direct instructional period in the morning, and then in the afternoon we have a playtime, which is geared towards being educational and fun at the same time. Children are getting an opportunity to demonstrate and to practice their STEAM education skills. So their scientific exploration, their engineering skills, and their artistic, their creativity. And typically during the elementary school year, children are only getting 40 minutes. Can you believe it? Yes. 40 minutes, especially if they don't have me coming into their school. They're typically only getting 40 minutes a week of science education, of their hands-on science education. Meanwhile, like I said, we are providing 2 education blocks during the day, as well as a playtime, as well as a math practice time, and a reading time on a daily basis. And so that adds up to, once you have your 5 weeks of that, right, those 2 blocks a day, you end up getting a year and a half's worth of what your average elementary school child is getting. And so how can you engage in that, and how can you be part of a child? Thank you so much. Yes, hi, Isabel Grace. Thank you for joining us again. I remember you, and thank you so much for your comment and your support. And so, yes, so how can you engage in that? One, you can watch the content, because I have a plethora of free content available to make sure that we're providing hands-on STEAM opportunities for our folks who are outside of our catchment area. We are stationed here in Harlem. If you're not familiar with how New York City is, we are in Upper Manhattan. And so to be more clear of that, kind of upper middle of the island of Manhattan, which is one of the 5 boroughs of New York City. And so that being said, you can engage the content, watch the content. I have tons of ideas out there that are geared towards adults wanting to work with young children, or even if you're a young person and you're watching the content, and you can watch the videos with an adult family member and ask them to help support you and get the supplies that you need to be able to do the experiments that we do. So that's one way that you can engage with us. Another way is, like I said, register for some of those spots that are available for Summer Science Club. Once again, I am closing registration this year. This year registration will close early. Y'all. Registration will close on May 31st because we're almost full, right? And children can attend either all 5 weeks and get that full year and a half worth of exposure, worth of jumpstart. And all the students that come to our program, especially if they come during their younger elementary school years, are very well prepped for then what they need to do as they get older. They have a very, very firm foundation. Yes. Please feel free to watch the content and get all the ideas and nuggets that you want. So yes, all of our students who attend our summer program in person, whether it be for 1 week or for all 5 weeks, get a firm foundation that their other science educators can stand on. And so they get a clear exposure of all the things of the science behind slime and how to engineer, kind of do civil engineering. We do a civil engineering project during a week 3, which is the E week, the engineering week. And so, yes, so either engaging in the content, attending in person, or supporting our program. We are running our annual summer camp fundraiser. No family pays the full fee. And the full fee at this point, meaning what it cost us, it cost us $700 a week. And so that you have an opportunity to fill in the gap, $700 a week per child. You have an opportunity to fill in the gap for families. Some of our families partner at a level of $425. They pay that per week, and they get to start to pay that. I have families that have been paying on that all the way since February. Because I open up registration early enough so that families, it can be an affordable experience. It can be something that does not interrupt the other financial obligations of a family. But then again, we have supporters that have already come online and started to support and start to fill in the gap, because you see how big that gap is. That gap is $275 per child per week, that us as a community, that we together get to collaborate and fill in. And so those are the 3 ways that you can engage with us this summer. Additionally, a bonus way is to hang out with us at the different activities that we'll be doing. We have something coming up this Saturday on May 17th. There's lots of publicity that I've got out for our year-end celebration, Science in the Park. And even if it rains, one of our traveling science teacher partners has volunteered their space. And so stay tuned for that, just in case we need to activate. I like to use that word, activate, especially being a scientist. There are many ways we use the word activate. If we need to activate our space, our rain day space, we will do that, and you will be notified if you've already RSVP'd. If you RSVP for this Saturday's event, Science in the Park, by Thursday, being on May 15th, okay? If you RSVP by 5 o'clock on May 15th, I'll make sure that you are aware and you get to know about the rain location. Other events that we've got coming up, as usual, we will be at the CS 154 Wellness Fair, passing out slime. Yes, and I have several volunteers that are going to be at both events, hanging out with us to have a great time. And then going into June, we will be at Kids Fest. And so those are the ways that you can engage with us and hang out with us. Once again, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. That's what STEAM means. I always want to make sure that everyone feels clear and welcome into the conversation so that you know what's going on. And finally, just a reminder, how can a child get, thank you so much for watching Live with Ms. Steph. How are we able to make sure that a kid gets, with a year and a half worth of elementary school science in just 5 weeks? Well, we are providing 2 science blocks each day of our summer camp. Okay? So our summer camp, if they come all 5 weeks, They get a science block in the morning, which is more of a direct instruction, which is teacher speak for basically me, like I teach a lesson. And they have a lab notebook and folder that they all come home with. So regardless whether or not your child or the young person in your life attends for 1 week or they attend for all 5 weeks, they still, when they're finished, when their time period is finished, they get to take home a folder. So that's another thing that we're providing. Not only are we providing the experience in the moment, but then they get to take their folder home and continue with those memories. And we have a great home school, and not school at home, but home and school connection, right? Families are getting an opportunity to be super clear about what their young person is learning. I do a lot of communication during summer camp and make sure that you're aware of what activity we're doing, why we're doing that activity. And also, I also give families ideas of what questions to ask their child in addition to what did you do at camp today. I give them specific question and kind of conversation starters. And so once again, our summer camp is providing the equivalent of a year and a half. Yes. Right. Oh, cool. Of a year and a half worth of science education within just those 5 weeks. And so it's a big way to jumpstart the inner scientist in an elementary school child. And so you can participate by sending your elementary schooler or supporting us through our fundraiser that we have that's posted lots of places on the interweb, but specifically on our website at www.tfempowerment.org. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Everybody who's joined us. It's about Albert Einstein. So before I leave out of here, I want to make sure that I'm answering Isabella's question. I don't typically teach about specific people. We teach a lot of concepts. A lot of it is kind of base level exposure to all the different things. And what I do is encourage families, say at home, that's how they get to do the extension. I say, hey, they can go look up this person or go look up this planet, or some kids will come in and be like, their favorite planet is Jupiter. And I go, okay, cool. So what is Jupiter? It's a gas giant. And what's the difference between our planet and Jupiter and that type of stuff, right? And so my curriculum is very focused on the hands-on component. Any way that I can turn a big philosophical concept into something we can do with our hands, I do it. And then I launch them and say, hey, so there's more that you can learn. One of the things that I told my group of fifth graders is I told them straight up, and any science educator really, in my opinion, is going to want the thing that I just said. I said, eventually, I want you to know more than I do. I need you to listen to me for now so that you know all the stuff that I know, that I can impart my knowledge to you. But later, I want you to go further than I have gone, because I'm a foundational teacher, right? I want them to be able to know more than I know. That is what we want as educators, is that we want to introduce you to as much as we can, and then for you to go beyond that and be awesome and be the fullness of yourself. So once again, thank you so much for watching. We've had different folks on today. JJB, always, thank you so much. Shout out to you. Isabel, shout out to you. And definitely shout out to Sarah. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been an episode of Live with Ms. Steph. We're going live and or uploading a video on Instagram every day in May to make sure that you know what we're doing here at Ms. Steph Science Club. Have an absolutely wonderful evening.